When it comes to crafting the last few months, I really spent most of my time in front of a screen and barely made anything by hand. But in the last 2 weeks, I made this, oh, and this. Hello adventurers, I think we all know that a good tool can make any skill check easier. That is why I have been on a journey to find a tool that enables me to cut more precise, more repeatable, and more detailed to bring more cardboard creations to life. And for the last 2 weeks, I did have the opportunity to test something that helped me achieve that. And that is Mr. Beam. Mr. Beam, you ask, is it an NPC, is it a magic item, or is it a mimic? Well, in your game, it could be a little bit of all of them, but in reality, it is a desktop laser cutter. For full transparency, Mr. Beam did send me a Dreamcut S to test out, but I received no gold in return, and all opinions expressed in this video are my own. Since the very first dice box and dice tower that I made, I was figuring out ways how I could give those to more people, because I made some by hand for my players, and their expressions of joy filled me with so much delight, but they are very labor intensive. And no matter what tools I've tried, none of them came even close to what I saw a laser cutter can do. And this was even more than confirmed after my initial tests. This machine in particular was really easy to set up and get going. It's really a plug and play solution that hooks up to your Wi-Fi and has a browser-based interface that is easy to understand. It even have a gallery with designs that you can use. So you could go from plugging it in to having your first cut done in less than 10 minutes. Meanwhile, the wizard is still ritual casting. And for this quest, I personally had two objectives. I wanted to see if I could cut and engrave some designs from printable heroes, in particular their recent addition of terrain elements. And I wanted to see if I could design a flat pack version of my dice tower, so it would be easy to send in the mail for no particular reason. Why, you asking? Well, achieving the first wasn't actually as simple as I thought, since I didn't have access to the cut files and also because the designs are just a little bit too intricate to be efficient. But it did lead me to making my own set of dungeon walls, which already received glorious feedback at the table. And the second goal in comparison was actually really straightforward. All I had to do is translate the existing design into a digital format and add some notches. In this case, it was actually super easy, because I could just take the measurements from the real world example. And I ended up with a couple different versions, because the first cut came a little bit smaller than expected due to an error on my side with the file's resolution. But after fixing that, I got the size as intended. And with this one done, it was just natural to make a big version, for all those chonkas lying around. Unfortunately, I rushed the process just a little bit, and now the D20s don't actually fit. Oh well, I'll fix it next time. Because I would love to do even more iterations and have some to spare. Because it is easy to design, but it does take time, and so does the cutting. Because with this machine in particular, the engraving I found to be quite time consuming. For example, I found and adapted these two designs from Thingiverse, a big D20 and a much more tower-looking dice tower. The big D20 is just a combination of simple shapes, a lot of triangles, and a lot of engraving. And this tall tower is just simply a lot of individual pieces. And both of them took about 3 to 4 hours on 2 sheets respectively. Yeah, I could have spent more time fine-tuning the parameters, but in this case I just used the available material presets, which there are many. You can cut and engrave a lot of different materials with this machine. Most importantly for me, it is finboard, plywood, and crafting foam. And also acrylic, but I just didn't get the chance to try it out. Obviously, you can also cut regular packaging cardboard, but if I had a choice, I just wouldn't. Simply because it creates so much dirt, and usually the other options just look much nicer. For example, the tower I initially made out of standard cardboard, but building it was just a pain to say the least. Ultimately, I really wish I had even more time with Mr. Beam, because it enables so many possibilities and there are so many things I'd still love to make, like an AoE spell effect marker. And it's definitely something I'll be doing once I get my own. For that, I just needed a little bit of extra coin, to be honest. But if you want to help me with this quest, you can click the link down below and see if Mr. Beam is right for you. They do ship all over Europe, including UK and Switzerland, and even have a rental service for adventurers in Germany. Of course, this is an affiliate link, so should you buy anything from them, I do make a small commission at no extra cost to you. But in case you already have access to a laser cutter or just want to support what I do in a different way, you can download all of my designs and support the missions with a small donation. Because all of those are made in service for the gods of crafting and will be used to fund this adventure. And that in return will result in more magical items for you and your party. With that out of the way, I'd love to know if you ever found a tool that enabled more creativity. Let me know on the message board down below. For now, I really appreciate you so much for watching, and I'll cast Sunbeam to feel like the laser cleric I always wanted to be.